Brightline's arrival in Tampa is a win for travelers. Finally, a sleek, modern way to zip across Florida without the stress of airports or endless highway traffic. But if we really want to unlock the full potential of high-speed rail here, there's more work ahead. Faster journeys, more cities, fewer hours. Let's talk about what's missing and how to make it happen in today's episode of Great Train Speed. Brightline is rapidly transforming how people travel in Florida, offering a high-speed rail link between Orlando and Miami with stops in key cities like Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Aventura. As one of the first major private passenger rail projects in the U.S. In decades, Brightline delivers sleek stations, fast trains, and a stress-free alternative to congested highways and airports. For anyone who's ever been stuck for hours on I-95, the appeal is clear. Passengers can relax in spacious seats, enjoy snacks and drinks, connect to Wi-Fi, and reach their destinations without the hassle of driving or flying. The numbers highlight its growing success. In June 2025, Brightline carried over 254,000 passengers, a 14% jump from the same month last year. Long-distance travel, especially between Orlando and Miami, saw an impressive 18% year-over-year increase, setting a new record at over 164,000 riders. Notably, 56% of these long-distance passengers were repeat customers, a sign that travelers aren't just trying Brightline once they're coming back. Shorter trips between cities like Miami and Fort Lauderdale also rose by 7%. On the financial side, June revenue hit $16.9 million, up 11% from last year, with most growth coming from long-distance ticket sales, which climbed 14%. To handle the demand, Brightline expanded its capacity on June 9th by adding 5 more passenger coaches and restoring its full long-distance schedule. Trains are now running with 6 cars again, reducing crowding and ensuring more seats for passengers. Operational reliability remains strong, with a 92% on-time performance in June, impressive for a busy intercity rail system. Looking ahead, Brightline is preparing for a major western expansion from Orlando to Tampa, part of a larger 320-mile route that will stretch from Miami to Tampa. If completed, this leg could cut the travel time between Orlando and Tampa to about an hour, with trains reaching speeds over 150 miles per hour. The company is seeking $400 million in private activity bonds to fund new tracks, station improvements, and other infrastructure upgrades. Tampa officials have already shown strong support, and surveys of nearly 12,000 people indicate high interest, with downtown Tampa and Ybor City emerging as top choices for the station location. The Florida Development Finance Corporation recently approved a key financing step, bringing the Tampa extension closer to reality. With projections of up to 650,000 monthly riders by 2026, the expansion promises not only faster and more comfortable travel, but also a new standard for passenger rail in the U.S., offering Floridians and visitors alike a reliable, enjoyable alternative to highway congestion. With Brightline's ridership and revenue climbing at a record pace, the big question now is how this momentum will fuel its bold push toward Tampa and pave the way for an even stronger transit system in Florida. Stick around as we dive into the next part to uncover more. And, if you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update, right here on Great Train Speed. The Brightline expansion to Tampa is an exciting development, offering a much-needed alternative to the notorious I-4, which is often congested and stressful to drive. For many travelers, the convenience of taking the train between Orlando and Tampa could mirror the seamless, stress-free experience they already enjoy on trips to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. The sleek trains, comfortable seating, and ability to relax or work while traveling make Brightline a compelling choice compared to spending hours in unpredictable traffic. Still, there's a high demand for Lakeland, which many believe would better serve short-distance riders who currently feel left out of the network. Strategically located in the middle of the Orlando-Tampa corridor, Lakeland is more than just a midpoint. It's a vibrant community with a growing population, a thriving university presence, and a steady flow of tourists drawn to its historic downtown and cultural attractions. A Brightline stop here could become an important connection point for commuters heading to jobs in either city, students traveling between campuses, and visitors looking for a convenient base to explore Central Florida. Adding a Brightline station in Lakeland would unlock a unique opportunity for both the rail line and the city. For Brightline, it means tapping into a market that values speed and comfort, but doesn't necessarily require the full Orlando-Tampa trip. For local residents, it would offer a modern alternative to regional travel, enabling same-day flexibility without relying solely on cars or buses. Lakeland's central location strengthens the case even further. It could naturally serve as a transfer point, laying the groundwork for future feeder services or regional transit connections. If the extension becomes reality, the impact would be transformative. Lakeland wouldn't just gain faster access to Orlando and Tampa, it would also connect directly into the wider Brightline network stretching all the way to Miami. As of mid-2025, Brightline already runs from Miami to Orlando and is actively advancing its westward expansion toward Tampa along the heavily congested I-4 corridor. For years, local leaders in Polk County and Lakeland have championed the case for a station, recognizing not only the convenience it would bring travelers, but also the economic growth, development, and logistical advantages such a stop could deliver. Lakeland's high-speed rail hopes are not new. The idea was first floated in 2011, but it was quickly shut down due to its hefty $2.4 billion price tag and concerns over potential cost overruns. Despite the rejection, momentum for the project lingered. The Lunds Group later stepped in, preparing schematic plans, renderings, data visualizations, and even offering strategic advice to help the city of Lakeland make its case for a station within city limits. Yet, despite the studies and enthusiasm, the project never advanced, largely due to decisions at the state level. Now, years later, Lakeland once again finds itself revisiting the prospect of becoming a stop on Florida's high-speed rail map. Brightline to Lakeland, will it happen? How do you think it would shape the city? Could it be a true game changer? Drop a 1 if you agree, or a 0 if you see it differently. We'd love to hear your thoughts. However, cost remains a significant barrier for many potential passengers, with fares ranging from $79 for Smart Class to $270 for Premium. Frequent travel can be hard to justify for everyday riders. Short-distance travelers in particular feel priced out of the service, which limits Brightline's accessibility to a broader audience. If the company could introduce more affordable fares or targeted discounts for shorter trips, it could attract a whole new group of regular customers. Some riders remain loyal to Amtrak for certain routes, such as a monthly round-trip journey from Jacksonville to Tampa, enjoying the charm and tradition of the service. Yet, many of these travelers are open to trying Brightline if it expands further north. Jacksonville, especially with its new stadium project underway, presents a prime opportunity for a future northern terminus. Imagine stepping off a sleek Brightline train right at the stadium for a big game or event. It would be both convenient and a unique travel experience. Reconnecting downtown Jacksonville to a modern high-speed rail network would not only serve local needs but also enable long-distance trips all the way to Miami, opening up the entire state for seamless rail travel. Connecting all 4 of Florida's major metro areas, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville, would be a game-changer for the state's economy, tourism, and mobility. It would encourage more sustainable travel, reduce congestion on Florida's busiest highways, and create stronger links between business hubs. Beyond the urban core, there's also untapped potential along the coast. Since Brightline already passes Cocoa Beach, a station there could be a natural fit, catering to cruise passengers departing from nearby Port Canaveral, as well as locals and tourists heading to the beach. The ability to take a train from Tampa to Cocoa for a weekend on the Atlantic coast would add yet another layer of value to Brightline's network. While the Tampa expansion is a major milestone, it should be seen as the foundation rather than the finish line. With strategic station additions, more competitive fares, and a vision for full statewide connectivity, Brightline can transform Florida's transportation landscape. The groundwork is there, the demand is evident, and the possibilities for both the economy and the everyday traveler are enormous. That's where we pull into the station for today. Thanks for riding along.